It took me 2 weeks to go from not really caring about the Surface laptop to deciding it's my favorite Surface ever. Now, it's definitely not the most affordable notebook on the block, but if you're looking for a Windows machine to help you stand out from the crowd, without the crazy calisthenics as the Surface line has come to be known for, well, you've found it. I'm MrMobile, and this is the Surface Laptop Review. You know you're in for something special the second you open the Surface laptop. Alcantara is a synthetic suede-like fabric better known as a car upholstery, and Microsoft has covered the whole keyboard deck in it. It's a tactile reminder that what you're typing on is not just another notebook. It's homier, it's warmer. And now, it needs to be said, I'm reviewing this laptop in July, and a warmer keyboard isn't always what you want in the summertime. Also, while Microsoft says this can be easily cleaned with a damp cloth, I am horrified to think about what a mess of germ gunk this is going to turn into after a year in the dorms. Oh, did I mention this is aimed at the back-to-college crowd? Yeah, we'll come back to that. Everything else down on the bottom is as it should be, for the most part. A comfortable set of keys, and thankfully, a big precision trackpad. It's made of glass and so accurate I seldom found myself needing the Surface Arc mouse that Microsoft also sent over, color-matched to my Cobalt review model, of course. Normally I don't dwell on color options, but part of the pitch of the Surface line is that you're buying an aesthetic just as much as you're buying a computer. Maybe that sounds frou-frou or pretentious to you, but that's exactly what helped Apple sell so many millions of MacBooks over the years. You weren't just buying a Mac, you were buying the status. Well, now that a MacBook is more common than a latte at most coffee shops, that status has ebbed a bit. Microsoft sees an opportunity in that, as this laptop's design choices make clear. The biggest of those? The characteristically tall 3:2 aspect ratio display, which I love because I can snap a script to one side, my notes to the other, and see more at one time than I could on a widescreen. It's a touch panel, which comes in handy sometimes, and it works with the Surface Pen. I do wish it got a little brighter, because the reflective coating makes for a lot of glare in bright daylight, but that's my only real issue with the screen. Speaking of issues, I expected to really hate Windows 10 S, the operating system Microsoft intentionally hobbled in the name of security. As you may have heard by now, 10S will only run apps you can find in the Windows Store, which means for now you're locked into using Microsoft Edge as a browser. As a Google-centric guy whose first download on any new PC is Google Chrome, I chafed at this. But it had the effect of forcing me to use Edge, and I actually quite liked it. It's fast, and it's got a really nice reading mode for reducing web pages to their essentials. To be clear, I still think Chrome is the better browser, with its ecosystem of extensions and super handy features like tab muting, but Edge is pretty solid. As for apps, the shelves in the Windows Store are still thinly stocked, but I found about 3/4 of the apps I was looking for. Sadly, that doesn't include TunnelBear, my VPN of choice. You know what the worst part about 10S is? Microsoft makes you use Bing as the default search engine. Yes, you can go to google.com, but the point is that a move like this is just so petty. Forcing people to use Bing is something the old Microsoft would do. It reeks of a desperation that, frankly, Microsoft has outgrown by now. So it should start acting like it. The good news? Ditching the S is just $50 away. A click here, a tap there, and boom. You get full Windows 10 with all the third-party program support you can click a mouse on. Even better, the fee is automatically waived for those who spend $800 or more on their machine, which you will be doing if you buy the Surface laptop. More on that in just a second, but first, 60 seconds on the small stuff. Windows Hello is not new, but it is faster and more accurate on the Surface laptop than any machine I've used. You just turn your head toward it and boom, it unlocks. Audio is great. The speaker under the keyboard is loud, and the soundstage is even. More even than the backlighting under those same keys. The battery life is excellent, despite how very thin and light this machine is. Using Windows 10S, I averaged about 6 hours riding it like a jerk, which means max screen brightness and a few power-sucking messaging apps enabled. Using it more conservatively got me further along, but of course nowhere close to Microsoft's 14-hour claim. Thanks to some pretty slow write speeds on the SSD, this machine is going to feel pokey if you're often moving huge files around. One-handed opening is a go. The webcam is fine. And I'm glad Microsoft kept a magnetic charge cable around. I just wish it could have added a USB-C port as well. Well, no putting it off anymore, let's talk turkey. You can get the Surface laptop in a few trims, mine being the mid-tier model, with a Core i5, 8 gigs of RAM, and a 256 gig SSD. That'll run you $1,300. You can go lower, but you probably shouldn't. Paying $1,000 for 4 gigs of RAM and a tiny SSD, you're gonna have a bad time. So, if you're already down in the comments typing an essay about how for less money you could build a better spec machine in a cave with a box of scraps, well, I agree. The budget and top-tier models are not a good value relative to the competition. It's the mid-range where the Surface laptop shines, especially when you factor in the 10% discount for students. And if you still balk at the price, look, it's a Surface. Part of what you're paying for is that name and the precision design it represents. If you don't care about that, there's a billion other laptops for you to choose from. If, on the other hand, look and feel are just as important to you as performance, the Surface laptop certainly deserves a place in your back-to-school bag. Just keep the anchor steam far away from that Alcantara. If you enjoyed this video, folks, please subscribe on YouTube. Until next time, thanks for watching, and stay mobile, my friends.